Here's a quickie pop fishing quiz for you. What do you think of when you think of Biloxi, Mississippi? The answer might just surprise you. As always, we're going to have a lot of fun in the next half hour and a lot of great fishing from the great state of Mississippi. Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
You're watching the only program with weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's episode. When you think of Ocean Springs and Biloxi, Mississippi, you think of casinos everywhere and great restaurants and lots of fun. You think of deep sea fishing with these great big old ocean going boats and these big yachts and giant sailboats and all of those kinds of things. You think of deep sea fishing, big game tournaments that go on right here out of Biloxi. But one of the things that doesn't get a lot of hype and is really good around here is the inshore bay fishing here at Ocean Springs and Biloxi. And that's what we're going to concentrate on this week. We're taking our brand new Blazer Bay 2420 GTS out in the bay to do some fishing for redfish, speckled trout, sheephead, maybe a tripletail, all of those inshore species that are so prolific in this area. We're going to be joined for part of this week's episode by Captain Robert Brody, who guides here all the time for the inshore species. And while we're out doing that, we're going to be taking you around your local region for your fishing reports this week from our expert team of insider reporters from lakes, rivers, and bays right where you live, both fresh and salt water. This is going to be a lot of fun, maybe some news to some of you as to how good the back bay fishing is here at Ocean Springs and Biloxi. Right now, we're going to go join up with Captain Brody. We get things started back at the FSN studios and your weekend planner.
A check of the Salooner tables reveals fair game fish activity for your weekend at the lake. Peak fishing conditions should begin in the morning hours a bit after sunrise and again in the evenings roughly around dusk. Expect the sun to rise at 6:43 and set at 8:23. And night skies will feature a last quarter moon that is 50% visible. We'll be right back to check all of the current fishing reports from throughout the area. And I'll return with professional guide Terry Littlejohn to talk striper fishing on this week's Ask the Pro feature. Back in a bit.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Lew's. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland. We know bass and crappie from heads to tails. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan your fishing vacation and catch the details at orangebeach.com/fishing. And by Glacier Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades.
Come in this way. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, that's a nice one.
He's got it, Robert. One's got it.
Get him. All right.
Got him right in front of that dock. Swimming at the boat. Be a good redfish. Come in this way. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Not very big. It's a start. Well, we've got a redfish anyway, so something to get it going. Hey, calm down. Hey, calm down, calm down. I'm just gonna grab you like that. Show you for the folks. Just a good, solid redfish. What do they need to be to be a keeper here?
He's probably about 21, has to be 18. He's way legal.
So he's a legal keeper right there. That makes
yeah.
Good black and redfish right there, folks, right there.
Oh, that's hard to beat, I'm telling you.
There's a decent Mississippi, Biloxi, Ocean Springs redfish for you right there. We're letting them go back today, no big deal. Catch a bunch of those here. See you, buddy. You said you love fishing docks.
Oh yeah, I love it.
And start explaining, or tell them why you like fishing these docks so much. You got a lot of good ones here.
Oh yeah. Well, the docks they provide a lot of shadow. The fish love to get under them shadows. It performs a feeding station for all the fish, and they'll just swim back and forth underneath these piers. And it's kind of a challenge to be able to flip that bait precisely right under that pier. And it's funny, some piers, just certain spots on piers will hold fish where no other spot will. We can't explain it, but if you fish enough piers, you figure out the pattern on each pier, you know. And my clients love it because, you know, it's the challenge of making the good cast. You know, when you get that good cast, then after you hook a big one, but we're usually using braided lines, so you got to get those big fish out from under there. And usually they'll wrap on a pile, and you got to be able to like work that fish easily back and forth out of there. You know, it's kind of an art to it. You don't want to just pull and pull. You want to kind of ease him out. And eventually with your braided line, if you're lucky, you'll get him on out of there and you'll land him.
A lot of saltwater fishing, you're throwing out in open water, but this, you've got a target, something to look at. You make a good cast, you get a reward.
That's right.
For your effort.
That's right.
All right.
Let's do it again.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with your Fox Sports Louisiana Outdoor Report. Here we're going to talk Louisiana saltwater fishing on the coast. This is what happens when Mother Nature cooperates. The winds quit blowing west-southwest. Tell you what, you can get out there. We ran about 20 miles out today. We were using Rockport Rattler jigs, fishing by standpipes and rigs. Tell you what, great cobia action out there. We brought 5 in, lost a couple. On the way back in, trout, redfish at the Gulf jetties, on the beach. I tell you what, right now fishing's turning on the whole Louisiana coast. Tell you what, bass fishing right now, I'd recommend early, late, and at night. Spinnerbaits and worms in deep water. Tell you what, for old Cajun Phil, Captain Kevin Broussard saying happy fishing. May God bless. Come see us at Cajun Paradise Lodge and Charter.
You got one?
Got one. Yes, sir.
Good.
Feels like you had a little size to him. We're gonna find out.
Captain Robert Brody's got a redfish on for you right there on the pier. Gone out to deep water.
Going out, he's shaking that head.
Gone to open water on you.
Whoa, 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 look at that. Look at that run.
Look
wow.
at that. Good thing you had your drag set a little bit.
I tell you what, I might ought to set it a little bit looser.
I noticed too, once you get him clear of the pier like that, you're letting him play down a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit. You're not
I'm not gonna force him. I don't want to force the hook out of his mouth. We haven't even seen him yet. Oh, it's a pretty fish. Come on. Come on, big guy.
Beautiful fish.
Come on, look at the colors on him up here in
that sun.
bays.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty?
Now this is a really good fish for back here in the bay.
Yes. This is where all the larvae end up. When they spawn out in the Gulf, the larva comes back in with the currents. And look at the colors on that fish. My goodness, isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. So you said once they get this big, then they tend to start leaving.
Yeah, they'll tend to go offshore. They'll get big enough to spawn, and then they'll congregate gigantic schools offshore.
But this is a good representative fish for as big as you're going to catch.
Exactly, exactly. This is the ideal fish you want, especially for the dining table. Just a beautiful fish.
Well, this one got caught on just the right day.
Oh yeah.
Because he gets to go down there and swim back to that pier.
Not many days they get freedom. All right, here we go. Goodbye, beautiful redfish. There you go. We'll catch him again some other day.
So we've got you a couple of redfish that we've showed you how you can catch them. Next, we're going to do something completely different. You're going to love it. I'm going to love it. I've only done it a couple of times in my life. Going to try to catch a triple tail. Hang in there. We're going to get ourselves rigged back up. Got him.
There we go.
Got him. How about that? There's us a triple tail. Hey, welcome back everybody. We're still out of Ocean Springs in Biloxi, Mississippi. Got Captain Robert Brody with us. We've been out looking for a triple tail and we've actually found one. Now, the cloudy skies are not going to let us show it to you on camera, but he's sitting right behind that crab pot right there. Do you see him in there?
Oh yeah.
We can both see him with our polarized sunglasses. I'm going to make a cast with a free line live shrimp right behind it. We've got a lot of current ripping in here, and so it's going to really take the perfect cast to drift it right in behind that. It may take me 3 or 4 casts.
In front and kind of get it right across his nose. That's always the trick.
Yep.
There you go.
Right in there and let it drift back. See what happens. Come on, eat that shrimp. He's right on it. He's got it. He's got it. I'm going to just let him eat it. Got
there
him.
we go.
Got him. How about that? There's us a triple tail. That's a decent fish.
Yeah,
not a big one, but just a good representative triple tail. We'll put him in the net, show him on camera, and we'll release him. We're not going to keep any fish today, but that'll at least show you what a Mississippi triple tail looks like.
That's a legal fish right there.
Yeah, he's bigger than we thought he was.
He is.
You said that's a legal keeper, which means he's got to be
18
inches long.
Yeah.
And so we could keep this fish. They're great eating too, by the way.
Eating.
How do you like to fix them?
I like to bake them, get a little crab meat dressing and put on top of them, you know.
Oh, you are speaking my language, buddy.
That's good stuff.
But let me tell you what's cool about this triple tail fishing is it's all visual. It's sight fishing.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see it. We spent about 10-15 minutes actually driving around, and you spotted this fish.
Gas. Yeah, you got to see it. I saw just a little, like a little dark shadow behind the carp, you know.
We'll let this one go back and grow up a little bit.
That fish is about 4 years old.
Okay. Here we go. Back it goes, just like that. All right.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is once again brought to you by Fiberworks Marine Collision. Getting the job done right, getting it done fast, and getting it done at a price you can afford. Now this week we're going to start at Sam Rayburn, which was recently named by a national magazine as the #1 bass lake in the entire country. At Sam Rayburn, it's all about the grass. You find the grass beds and you fish over them in the morning on top with your topwater baits and your frogs, then transition to the open spots and sides of these grass beds with things like your Cinco and your spinnerbait. And finally, you can fish the outside edges with crankbaits and Texas rigs, or punch the mats with the 1-ounce punch rigs. You'll be catching bass anywhere from 2 to 10 pounds. Over at Texoma, we found a very interesting pattern for the brim. By throwing shaky head and finesse worms for bass, we actually ended up catching a few brim, and these are big enough fish to take those 2- and 3/0 bass hooks, so you know they're good fish. Instead of using those bass baits, however, I think I'd probably use earthworms or crickets on these Texoma brim. You'll be fishing up in the flats near the banks from about 2 to 8 feet of water, and there's huge schools of these fish all over the lake. Look to the main lake points to get you started. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by the good folks at Fiberworks Marine Collision. Be sure and check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
Hi, I'm Captain Joey Ferry with your South Texas Region Report. This week, we're brought to you by Waypoint Marine, Blazer Bay Boats, Anetic Sportswear, and DOA Lures. And we're down in South Padre Island, where I've hooked up for 3 days now on all kinds of species of fish, most within walking or casting distance for public access. Around the jetties in Port Isabel, lots of action. Close in on those jetty rocks, people are catching sheephead, trout, and redfish on shrimp and popping corks with a deep drop. Down at the end, folks are walking out with gold spoons and small DOA soft plastics. That 3-inch cow bait with a heavy jig head was dynamite for Spanish mackerel, some tarpon, and some big kingfish. In the bays, we're anchored around South Bay and had a huge amount of black drum. We saw party boats, guide boats, and sportsmen alike all catching these drum as they fell off that shallow water with the tide. And down a little farther north, we've got an enormous amount of redfish in the Cullen House area, and we caught those drifting in about 3 feet of water with thick grass with these deep sand pockets. Those fish were hiding in those sand pockets, would come out and charge our baits. If you have any questions, call my friend Captain Brian Barrera or myself, and follow all of our hookups on Facebook at Captain Joey Ferry's Backwater Fishing.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by MotorGuide's new wireless and easy-to-use XI3. XI batteries, powering the world forward. Waypoint Marine, the Gulf Coast's leading saltwater boating specialist. And Strike King, designed by the pros, fished by you.
All right. There is a Katrina Reef trout. We've made a move. There's one's got it. Got him. Right off the edge of the rocks. Oh, here, baby, what have I got? Oh, that's a good trout. That's a good trout right there. Yeah, let me get control of the trolling motor here. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are, whoa, 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 whoa. We're still out of Ocean Springs in Biloxi. And I've made another switch. Look at this. All right, there's a good one right there. There's a good trout for you. Made a switch, and we've gone to trout fishing. There is a Katrina Reef trout. We've Made a move. Captain Brody has had to go take some folks fishing. He's on a guide trip now. We've lost him out of our boat. He had to go to work, so we're on our own now. And you can see right behind us, we've made a big move. We've caught redfish, we've caught tripletail, and now we've caught a nice speckled trout. Look at that. What a great fish. That's a first one too. Fat dude. What a great way to get things started on a little change. We're again not keeping him today, so that fish is going to gently get released back. There you go, buddy. Well, here's what we've done. It's a really nice day today, and so we've come out to an artificial reef. These are big concrete chunks from old bridges from Hurricane Katrina that devastated this whole area. And so what they've done is reclaimed a bunch of this stuff, broken it up into pieces, brought it out here on barges, and piled it up into artificial reefs. They're sitting out here in about 8 to 12 feet of water. Perfect habitat, perfect cover for speckled trout, redfish, sheephead, lots of different species we'll get on these. Easy to find if you want to come here.
Well, we finally got a much needed break from those blistering temperatures we've had here in Oklahoma for a while, and man, it feels a whole lot better to be fishing right now than it has been for the past several days. You need to take advantage of it because the fishing is still really good for many species at many places across the state. As far as a magical depth, I would say concentrate on the 10 to 12 foot range if you have any color to your water at all. Now, the clear waters, you might have to go deeper than that later in the day, but for the most part, lots of reports coming in 10 to 12 foot for crappie, bass, white bass, and catfish. Now, a great tool for determining how deep you need to be fishing is if you're fishing from a boat, as soon as you start from that ramp, look at your sonar, pay attention to what range you're seeing the majority of the bait fish and game fish showing up, and repeat that for whatever type of structure you're fishing. Bridge pillars makes it easy to determine that depth. Start down about 4 or 5 feet and then go down in 2 foot increments until you find those fish. Then you can repeat that on top of humps and on top of points and you can catch them. White bass and crappie fishing is still really good in many places across the state. Catfish you can catch close to the main river channels off those flats. And of course you've got some schooling activity early and late in the days. Well, it's much better to be fishing. You can catch them, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
Hey, I want to show you one other really cool thing that happened today. We were driving around looking for tripletail and we found one with his nose right on a crab pot floating buoy. We launched our drone and hovered it right over the top of that buoy, and you can clearly see this tripletail with his face planted right against that floating buoy, and he did not spook even when we hovered that drone down really close. That is some really incredible video. That's what a tripletail looks like on a buoy. Now, I actually caught this fish. I threw a live free line shrimp in there. That tripletail came off that buoy, ate my shrimp. The fight was on. He actually wrapped me up around the cord to that buoy. I had to turn on the trolling motor, go up there, unwrap that fish, which I did, fought that fish, and actually wound up getting it in the net. And it was a really nice tripletail. It was a very bright gold colored fish. We got to look at it, show it off, and then gently released it back into the Gulf. It'll probably swim right back on a buoy. You can go down there and catch that fish if you'd like.
You can always watch our latest episode on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Catch up on past episodes by clicking the archive button and learn about fishing techniques and new gear at our how-to page. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for new fishing videos every day. Simply search for Fox Sports Outdoors and click the like button on Facebook and follow button on Twitter. And watch a new episode every week on any device by downloading the free Waypoint TV app on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made. Mercury Outboards, go boldly. And Lowrance and the new Hook 2, the world's easiest fish finder.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro question. This week, Major asks, is there an advantage to using a balloon instead of a traditional bobber when striper fishing? For the answer, we asked Terry Littlejohn of Lake Tawakoni Guide Service.
When fishing for striper in open water, a balloon works much better than a bobber because that balloon's surface area is much larger than a bobber. It's going to drift longer distances, and also it will help present your bait more naturally and put you in the strike zone longer. I hope that helps.
Thanks, Terry. If you have a question for one of the pros, visit our website, follow the Ask the Pro link, and send it in. Now let's see who wins our big catch of the week.
Hey everybody, we've got the Blazer Bay 2420 GTS parked safely back at the Point Cadet Marina at the Golden Nugget Hotel in Biloxi, Mississippi, and it's time right now for this week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest. He's Charles Rainey of Page, Texas, showing off a 24-inch flounder he caught at Cameron, Louisiana. If you'd like to be our next winner, just go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click on the Big Catch of the Week area on the right side of the front page, follow the instructions to submit your photograph, and you could be on television as our next winner. We had several important pieces of gear to catch the tripletail, speckled trout, redfish today. We caught them all on the loose TP1 Speed Stick inshore rod. It's a 7-foot medium action with a microwave guide system and the wind grip dry tack handle. Perfect for all these fish, and we had it matched with the loose TP1 inshore spinning reel. That's the 400 series reel. Now, as far as the setup goes, we had 50-pound test braid, 1 split shot tied to 17-pound test fluorocarbon leader, about a foot of that, and then a 1/0 Kale hook on the end, and that caught everything we caught on this week's show. And one other super important piece of gear that I never go out without are my GLACIER gloves. As you can see, they've got some leather on the palms to help me grip. They're fingerless, they're breathable. They keep the sun and the salt water off my hands and protect my skin. My dermatologist is very happy with me about these GLACIER gloves, and you can see them online at the GLACIER glove website that you see on your screen. I got surprised by a waiter at a restaurant the other day. He came up and said, "Man, you're smiling big tonight." And I'm like, I am? For many years, I frowned and did not realize it until my wife pointed it out. I had to go stand in front of a mirror and practice what smiling actually felt like. But what I've learned is that since I've learned how to smile, I'm happier and the people around me are much happier as well. It just gives off a much better first appearance to those around you. Get in front of a mirror, practice smiling, and see what happens in your life. And before we get out of here, I'd like to give you the contact information in case you'd like to come here to the Gulf Coast and catch some of the great fish that we caught in the last half hour right here in Ocean Springs and Biloxi, Mississippi. Your guide for the day will be Captain Robert Brody. You can contact him at the information you see on your screen. One word of warning, he stays booked up well in advance, so you'd better get your trip in early. And when we come here, we stay at the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino right on the water in Biloxi, Mississippi. Everything you could ask for. Nice, clean rooms, great food at several restaurants, great music, great casino, fantastic atmosphere, super people, everything you could ask for in one location, and you can contact the Golden Nugget Biloxi, the contact information you see on your screen. From the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.